Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to The Scope. And now, here are your hosts, Jared, Adam, and Shane. Hey, Scopers, episode 157, coming at you live.
God, I think I made it worse.
Did I? Okay, let me lean back. How about that? How's that sound? Good?
That sounds good there, yeah.
Okay, I'm going to have to sit like this, back against my chair.
Yeah.
Proper, like.
Proper. Guess what? This week, Al, not in studio. So that just means it's the three of us, Jared, Adam, and Shane.
Just the classic lineup.
The classic trio.
Yeah. We're like original X-Men here.
Except there were more of us.
I'm not saying we are the original X-Men. I'm saying we're like you.
I've always thought of you as a Jean Grey type of character.
I've always thought of you as a Moro Unro. What's Storm's real name?
Aurora Monroe.
Aurora
Monroe.
I thought he was having a stroke for a
I
second.
know. Yikes. Any doctors in the audience? We want to get him checked out.
Yes,
Sorry.
indeed. So we're back, and we've got a fun show plan. We're just kind of catching up. Letting everybody know what's going on with
Us.
us. So there's a lot to talk about, but I did want to ask a question of you guys.
Okay.
Right away to start
Do
things
it.
off. This is media and pop culture related.
So it's in our wheelhouse.
Yes.
It's within our charter.
It's not about potatoes.
We're a handful of episodes in.
Look, if you want to talk organic farming, I'm your guy.
Oh, good.
Fecal matter.
I am not your guy for that.
Making your vegetables grow. No, I'm actually talking about Marvel's The Agents of S.H.I.E.L.D.
Okay, sure.
We're a number of episodes in.
Yes.
How are you guys feeling about this show? There was a lot of hype, but it premiered to pretty big ratings, and the ratings have slowly fell off.
It fell off, but it's still well enough. It's still doing pretty good in the TV landscape.
What do you think of the show, Jared?
It's gotten better. Now, at the time of this recording, I've only watched the 5 episodes that are available to me.
Mm-hmm.
By the time this episode comes out, there'll be a 6th and a 7th, possibly. No, an 8th will be due. Wait. Actually, it'll only be a 6th because they're taking off a
Couple of
week
weeks.
and then they'll be back. So we won't be too far along. But I think it's gotten better. That doesn't mean it's great. I think they still need to figure out these characters and figure out how to make them interesting and, make us care about them. But they're getting better. I'm still not buying that the overarching storyline of the season needs to be Chloe's story. It's sort of not that compelling.
Yes, and she's not that compelling.
Yeah.
So my question is this, Adam? When you look at the history of this show, and it's coming back for season 2, will season 2 be anything like season 1, or will it change?
Interesting.
Yeah.
I'm going to answer your question with another question.
Oh my God!
You haven't seen it,
What
have you?
is Marvel's Agents of S.H.I.E.L.D.?
What?
I don't
What
know.
are you talking about?
I've only watched one episode.
Okay.
Oh no!
Are you not interested in keeping up with the show?
After that first episode, I was not. I had heard
Yes.
it maybe got a little worse than got a little better, like
Yes.
what you said.
You can't.
Yeah, the fourth episode is pretty good.
Okay, so I've been recording all of them.
Mm-hmm.
I'll probably
Marathon.
So Mandy's going away for a day. I'll probably just
So, Jared, what can be done to make
Yes.
this show better? Like, what changes would you make? Give me a couple.
You got to figure out, first of all, you got to figure out this whole Fitzsimmons situation. These two
Yeah.
scientists that don't seem to have any depth or interest to them other than they're there to do the sciencey stuff.
Yeah.
And I will also say, it goes for this show, but also goes for any other show out there. The time has come to get the technology writing correct because we're smart enough to know what TCP is now. We're smart enough to know how Minecraft functions. So if you're going to write sloppy techno speak, we're going to call you on it.
You're going to get burned
It's
for
bullshit.
Sure.
To get it right. It's not that hard. Talk to someone who knows about it and have them write it for you.
Yeah.
But I don't know. There's been a lot of just kind of like techno talk on the show where I understand the stuff they're talking about and I know what they wrote is just we're throwing some words in here. It's word salad is all it is.
Sure.
And it bothers me. And I'm sure there's other people who do that too. So figure that part out.
enhance.
Enhance, indeed. And I
Enhance.
understand that we're in a comic book world where there is magic tech, but that's has nothing to do. When you talk about real tech in the magic tech world, just get it right. That's all.
Sure.
I don't. You got to figure out. I mean, I feel like they're starting to develop the larger storyline for the season as far as like who the big bad is and stuff like that. And that's, I think, a step in the right direction, because if it's just going to be a case of the week scenario, I'm not interested.
No.
The other thing that's missing is I still don't feel like it's in the Marvel universe. Like I need some superheroes, even if it's D-level superheroes, characters we've heard of.
Yeah.
Get them in there somehow. Talk about them even. They don't even talk about them. You don't necessarily even have to have them show up on
there's
screen.
Aliens in New York.
Yeah.
There we go. So we're in the Marvel universe.
It's like let's try to root this more firmly in the movie world that we've created and introduce some more of the Marvel characters that they probably have the rights to.
Millions of people have seen the Marvel movies. Don't be scared.
It doesn't have to be a spy show 100%. I mean,
they say that they even say that that's not the goal of the show.
You're right.
So let's prove it.
Yeah.
It's interesting that you say that, because as bad as Smallville was at a lot of stuff, you still knew where it was grounded.
Sure.
You know, like,
yep.
I mean, I get that the central character is, one of the key superheroes in that.
Did he end up being Superman at the end?
Did Clark Kent become Superman?
Oh, it was Clark Kent. Huh? Right.
I mean,
that was the twist.
It's isn't to say that they haven't had super-powered characters in the show. They certainly have.
Right.
It's just that, I just want like a character I know or recognize from the comics to show up. That's all.
Yeah.
Make it feel like it's actually part of the whole.
You just want post-credit sequences, is what you're saying.
Well, they do have those.
I know.
No, I just want, even if it's a low-tier character, someone who is already established to show up. That's all. Otherwise, it just feels like it's just sort of a facsimile of the Marvel universe.
Jared, I feel that's a fair request. I'll let them know.
Let them
You'll
know.
let Jeb Whedon or whatever.
Yeah, get Jeb and Mo on the phone and tell them to stop watching the kids and start writing some shows.
This is what I think the show is missing,
Go ahead.
Jared. I think it's missing two things.
Yes.
It's missing stakes.
Okay.
And not as in Buffy stakes.
I get it.
And it's also missing diversity.
You mean stakes that Al put on his genitals?
Yeah, exactly.
Okay.
Genital
Explain the
stakes.
diversity, because we've got men, women, we've got multiple races.
I just think that the agent crew that they have they're all very good looking generic youngsters.
That's TV
that are all white. And I'm not saying you need black, purple, green. I'm just saying that you need to be able to, and that's part of the issue with Fitzsimmons.
I think that they could, knowing the people who are behind the show, my guess is they would like to have more diversity that you're talking about, but I'm sure they get pushed back from the television producers who say, no, we need to have young, good-looking people on here.
Well, I think it makes it worse.
I agree. But, I thought it was cool, like was it the third episode? Yeah, I think where they had the truck driver. Yeah. And he was like a big fatty guy, but he was a truck driver, but he was also a S.H.I.E.L.D. agent. It's like, yeah, this is cool.
And we talked about in the fourth episode, the rogue agent who, she was African-American. Like, I wanted her on the team. Let's get her on the team.
Yeah.
She's a perfect addition.
Find a way.
Yes.
Scrap somebody. I don't know. Or just add her. I don't know.
Add them in. And the other thing is, when I talk about stakes, it goes back to what Jared is saying about it just being a mystery of the week sort of thing.
Sure.
Let's give these guys a big bad, or I hate that term. Sort of bothers me. It seems sort of. But let's give them a goal. Let's give them a main villain, something that will drive them. Let's understand more about the Coulson thing. Let's understand about Sky's possible subterfuge. I mean, there's a lot of things going on there that they need us.
Yeah.
They need to bring us into. And
now, granted, we're 5 episodes into a 22 episode season, so
they're clearly scared of something that dogs genre shows, which is the idea of mythology.
Mm-hmm.
As you get deeper into the mythology, you get less and less people willing to go for the ride. It's happened to a number of different shows. It happened to Fringe. It happened to Lost. The thing, though, is that the mythology is what makes it a good show. So it is a really tricky balance. This show actually is sort of facing some of the same issues that Fringe faced when it first came on, which was we don't want to alienate people. We have to have mystery of the week, but it just isn't as compelling. And if you go to a show like The X-Files, which essentially started that sort of genre mythology, in my opinion, most of the week episodes of The X-Files were the stories of the week until they started really getting that mythology going, and that's when people really got excited about it. Now, the X-Files sort of danced around that by only having a few of those episodes a year.
Sure.
But those were always the episodes that people talked about. Always.
I'm looking forward to when TV is no longer a every week thing.
Yeah.
It's like a Netflix thing for everything, where we've made this story. It's 13 episodes. They're all available now. Come on a journey with this. And there's a storyline that threads all the way through
Sure.
it. That's
people digest it when they want.
TV is. I mean, it's going to take forever for everything to get that way, but more and more television is getting that way, where it is. They're building large stories, and you know what? Maybe the 22 episode season format is a hindrance to it. If you can do a 10 or 13 episodes, it's so easier to do a nice taut story.
And they're doing that with Sleepy Hollow, for instance, which is sort of the breakout surprise hit of the year. They're keeping it to 13 episodes, so you can have a bit of urgency as you go through and understand that there's no stretching out needed, because we can tell the story we want to in 12 hours and bring it back next year.
You know, Adam picked that to be the first canceled show.
Yeah, we'll get to that in the B block, but yeah, I think getting back to Marvel's Agents of S.H.I.E.L.D., there's a few things that can be done, but I don't know if it'll necessarily happen this year. I think that they'll sort of feel their way through it, and they'll regroup, and then next year the show might be a little different.
It's a show I'm willing to be forgiving on and give it some time to develop. A lot of other shows I wouldn't be, but since this is, it's ostensibly tied into the Marvel universe and is, we've got a second season coming, and I like the Coulson character, I'm willing to sit with it for a while and just hope that it gets better.
Let it percolate. It's got a pedigree and a bunch of cast members and people that are interesting enough where we're gonna give it a chance, Adam.
All right.
You should too. We'll keep you posted.
And given how Whedon shows have often struggled early, but then found their footing in the back half of the first season or the season 2, I'm confident.
Well, and especially with the secret agent gone rogue, even in the 4th episode, if they can get to more of stuff like that. Especially they filmed a lot of that on location where it didn't feel cheap. That's another issue of the show, is that it struggles trying to look big without having the budget or the time to be big.
Right. They do a lot of stuff that's on the plane.
Yeah.
And those are sets that they just reuse, obviously.
So let's get them filmed outside a little bit more.
Sure.
If it's going to be small groups of people doing covert type of stuff, let's write stories that really utilize that. Let's be smarter in how we do that. And, I think they've done an okay job, but I think they could do better. But we'll see how it goes. So what else do we got coming up on the show, guys? It's more Catch 'em Up. So Adam, Jared, and I will just sit around and we're going to gab. No big whoop.
Gab like ladies.
But we've also got coming soon.
Pour some sangria.
Sangria? Oh, yeah.
No.
Delicious fruity wine drink.
It's too late. The Daily Show. The Today Show, they get drunk around 9, so we missed it by a few
We're done.
hours.
So let's think about how we can get wasted in the break. And we'll be back with more Scope right after this.
This is the Funk.
1223, that white starship hit 30 tons of ice. I guess it was Titanic Monday.
It's party in Arkham Asylum, and our DJ is driving us crazy. Because it's Mr. Freeze, keep asking him, please, will you stop playing Ice Ice Baby?
I've seen software that can do amazing things in my time, but I've never seen a program that could read my mind. Auto complete, auto immune, auto bot, auto tune, auto mobile, automation, auto erotic asphyxiation. Sometimes I like to
think of Jesus as a mischievous badger.
Dinosaurs are
made up by the CIA to discourage time travel.
That's the Funny Music Project at thefump.com. THEFUMP.com.
Tune don't have to be clever, and it don't matter if you put a couple extra syllables into a line.
Hey, Scope guys, we are back. What episode is this, Jared? I'm confused.
This would be 157.
157 is our last episode before the break, so digest what we have to say. Keep it inside of you.
What?
And be a part of it. That's okay. So, Jared, Adam, and myself, we're sitting around, we're talking about our lives, things that are going on, and I've got a news flash, Jared. I just got an email for the very impossible to come by advanced screening opportunity for the movie Las Vegas.
Another one, huh?
I've had so many passes to that movie.
I think that seriously might be the 10th opportunity we've had.
Burnsville, yeah.
But it ties into an interesting story that
I already had passes for that Wednesday.
that Jared and I have experienced, Adam, and that is we went to see a sneak preview of a movie a few weeks ago called About Time.
Mm-hmm. Review is up on the channel.
You can
in
check
the
it
feed.
out. Check it up on YouTube.
This is the Plants vs. Zombie sequel.
Exactly.
Yes. Yep. It's About Time.
Exactly. No, this is the latest movie in the, was it Richard Curtis?
Sounds about right.
The guy that did Four Weddings and a Funeral, Love Actually. So it's very British, very love story-ish.
I like Love Actually quite a lot. About a Boy? I think
he's the same. I think he's the same guy. Hugh Grant was his muse, if you will. But that's...
I won't.
If you want to, if you want to find out what we think about that movie, feel free to check it out on YouTube and
you got a teaser?
and a mini
You got a
podcast.
teaser?
We don't have a teaser.
Okay, that's fine.
But my wife was involved in the review, and let's just say that not everyone agreed on how good or bad of the movie this was.
Oh,
but that doesn't really matter.
She had her own opinions.
She did, and it didn't factor into the score at all, which she hates.
good.
But
As
Jared,
much as your daughter? As much as your daughter that one time when...
yeah, she was very upset about that. But Jared and I, when we saw this movie, we sort of finally were introduced to the, I don't want to say like the subculture of the movie screening world. And Jared and I have noticed, we've been doing this and you've been involved kind of on the periphery for about 3 years now. But we've gone to enough of these screenings that we've seen that there are a lot of the same people that show up.
There's a type.
There's people that are there. They will bring chairs to sit in.
They have their podcasts also that they record for afterwards.
Who knows?
That's
Maybe.
a good question. Maybe not. But so we were in line, and we find out about 5 minutes before the movie is going to start that it's not like a typical screening. Normally, when you have these screenings, you either have an email on your phone or you have a printout that you would then hand to the, I don't even know, like the publicist that's running the event. It's usually,
usually a marketing company with some interns there who,
But this one was a little different, Jared.
Yeah.
This one required that you go to the box office and you present your movie theater, club card, and then they would give you.
Mm-hmm. Now, this was
2
all noted
passes.
in the fine print at the bottom, but what I didn't bother to read because
You've done this a million times.
Yeah. This is different, and we've even gone to Universal because the pass actually came through Universal and their screening website. We went to a Universal screening earlier this year that wasn't like this. So
No, completely
I didn't
different.
even think to check.
So you're having a woman who is sort of walking up and down the line saying, "Hey, did you get your passes?" I don't think she was involved with anything except just being there.
Sure.
And so we freak out. We're like, "Well, none of us have this card, so."
And we've got a great spot in line.
Yeah,
we're like sixth in line.
Yeah, we got to pick of the litter, as they say.
Mm-hmm.
So I run up to.
Can I ask which theater this was?
This was an AMC theater.
Okay. You don't have a Stubbs card because that costs money.
And I used to be a member of that, where I used to get free food, but then they changed it to a price-based thing, which sort of pissed me off. Like, why would I pay to be involved in your stupid movie club when I'm spending hundreds of dollars a year? I want something for nothing, essentially.
Darn tootin'.
So my wife's like, "You need to do something about this." So
she didn't yell at me, the guy who got the passes.
Yeah.
She yelled at Shane.
yeah, I got it. So I have to go stand in line, and I don't even know what I'm going to do in line. Just give them the passes, and I guess maybe I have to buy a Stubbs card if I'm sitting there. I don't really know.
Meanwhile, the lady in line behind me has gone and gotten her tickets, and then she offers for me to use her card. She's like, they didn't even scan it. They just had to show. I'm like, okay, cool. So I get in line, and I'm watching Shane is at the front of the line with a new friend.
Profusely.
So there actually was a person right in front of us who had been there, and he was in line in front of me, and we just started talking in line, and he's like, "Do you need any passes?" And I'm like, "I might actually. I don't have a Stubbs card." So he gets 2 passes for him, and then he's like, "I'm just going to wait right here for you. And then when you get up, I'm just going to give him my card," which seemed a little shady because they could see what we're doing.
I know.
It was very, very odd. But yeah, he was like 3 guys in front of me. I walk up, I give the clerk my pass, and then this new guy just says like, "Oh, and here's my Stubbs card." So I'm like, this kid didn't give a rat's ass.
Yeah.
So he scanned the card, gave me the tickets, and walked away. And then
I'm still confused how you got an extra one for me because I didn't have to actually finish going through the line.
So I had 2 passes, and then our new friend got 2 passes because he didn't use one.
Right,
so he gave one to me. So I ended up having 3 passes.
Got it.
So long story short, really, not that short and not that great of a story. But I start talking to the guy, and we find out
You can tune out now, guys.
that
Wait,
he-
audience. Talking to the audience.
this guy goes and sees 4 or 5 movies a week, and you know,
Does he
I
have a
was-
job?
Yeah.
Did you ask?
Yep. He has a
Okay.
job. He's very much a smart guy. He's in the IT world. Makes a lot of money. Works for a lot of big companies, but he likes to go see movies. And you know, he gives me the passes. We shake hands and whatever. And we're in line. We're talking, and we get in, and lo and behold, we end up sitting next to each other. So I'm talking to him. His guy's name is Ruben. I find out, and I'm talking to him, you know, for the good half hour
Like
that
the
you're
sandwich.
that you're sitting there.
Did he smell of sauerkraut?
He did not smell the sauerkraut,
Okay, just checking.
but I guess he's
Ruben stuttered, by the way. He's not an IT professional.
No.
Just to clarify.
There is more than one Ruben in the world.
Yeah.
Come on.
he's a
Ruben Randall, receiver for the New York Giants.
Rick,
There might-
Rick
there
That's
Rubin?
the only other one.
There might be 3 Rubens.
Yeah, he's one of the 3 Rubens in the world. But so we find out that there is after talking to him, there's a small group of people that kind of are on an email list, I guess. And I sound like that girl from Saturday Night Live, you know, talking about someone. Like, Gaddafi's a really nice guy. He's at these parties sometimes, and like you'll have this food.
Yeah, and it like smells weird.
And he'd be like, "Oh, this is a really good food," but I'm like, "It's not that good."
You know, you probably should just had it catered.
But we find out there's this email list that all these people are on, and they constantly exchange.
Adam, you're not a good riffer, by the way.
Yeah, you
need
need
to
to
join.
I
look
have
at me.
no idea what you're talking
You've
about.
never seen those 2 characters, Fred Armisen on SNL, where they talk really nice about people, but then they sort of whisper about them at the end
Sometimes.
No.
But then Adam is the greatest guy, Jared.
Yeah, I know.
But sometimes,
you know,
yeah. Hey.
he'll,
I gotta be honest with
he'll
you.
kick his dog,
I'm
and
like,
it looks like it really hurts.
I don't know which characters you're doing.
and I'll look at him.
These aren't characters on Saturday Night
And I'll
Live.
think, what is this Adam doing?
Does one of them have a massive head wound?
Why would he kick a dog?
I know. I mean,
Which
who does
one of them
that?
is Tarzan?
Which one is scared of fire and bread?
Which one is
Wow.
At any rate,
Which one is Wayne and which one is Garth?
there's no Wayne and Garth in this
I don't
one.
understand. You said it's Saturday Night Live.
Yeah, so
Wow.
this is a terrible
Adam's-
story. But
go ahead.
there's an email list where they all exchange emails and they go out and
Yeah, and probably sexual partners.
probably.
Yeah.
And I think he was hitting on me. It's
Big secret sex party is what
Yeah.
it is.
But so
Leave your keys in the bowl, grab a condom, go into a dark room.
the interesting thing about Ruben is that he is not involved in Facebook. He's not involved in Twitter, which is how Jared and I get all of our passes.
Is he still on Friendster? Have you?
He's on Orkut.
I don't know what he is. It's something about.
It's on one of those Russian social networks, isn't
Yeah.
he?
Yeah, I don't know. It's like, I think that he's been in the game. He's got skin in the game so long that he knows the people that run these events, and he knows some of the marketing people, and they will feed him codes and information to get these passes.
See, that's what we need. We need a
Yeah.
secret inside scoop.
But I actually
Should have given him a little handy while you were there.
I sent him my email. He's
2
like,
weeks in a row, hand job references.
he's like, I can get you some passes. So I sent him just sent an email. It's like, thanks again for getting us in, and he's sent me like 4 opportunities for passes, all of which I think, Jared, you've had. So
like such as
Las Vegas.
Yeah.
I think there was. I don't even know. There's a couple other ones that I.
the one at the Lagoon on Monday. Follow me. I got that
Yep.
one already. I'm not going.
Yep, got that one. So long story
Cool.
short, you talk to people.
It sounds
Adam.
like I'm being replaced on this show. Is this how you do it? In front of everyone?
Ruben,
actually-
open invitation if you'd like to take Adam's spot. No.
I was going to ask Ruben. It was a little strange. Like, hey, you want to come and record the show? We're just going to sit in the parking lot with the camera, the 4 of us in the car. But like the movie was over, and this guy's a pro. I mean, he was gone. Like,
Yeah.
he was like clapping. He said, "Great movie," and gone. It was like a little puff.
Maybe
of
he
smoke.
never existed.
never seen him. I don't know if I've ever seen that guy, but we've had
No.
to
Yeah.
run into him on occasion.
I would think so. If he goes to so many movies, I'm sure he's there.
And why were you itching your nipples right there, Adam? That was very strange.
are not here.
You
You have center mass nipples.
I thought Adam's a great guy, but
Let's check the tape.
we went to a pool one time.
Yeah.
Adam took off his shirt.
I know, it was
This
so
isn't-
strange. His
and his-
nipples were
And his
way up
nipples
here.
are in the middle of his chest. And I was like,
mean,
okay, you can do what you want
Make
to
any
do.
sense?
Yeah.
I like that bit. I managed to do that all the time. So anyway, that is our story. Let's flip this over to Adam.
Flipping it over.
Thank
Adam,
God.
time to
Adam
shine.
can finally talk.
Tell us
Hey,
about these weird nipple
let's-
placements.
Yeah,
let's
you have.
do-
you've got nipples on your shoulders.
Let's make sure we have a timestamp on when people should actually start listening again.
Okay.
On this episode.
I asked Adam before the show what he's been involved in, and apparently it's following obscure comedians in weird shows and
Obscure.
going to comedy tapings. Is that what you've been up to?
I mean, I wouldn't call Gerald Seinfeld obscure comedian.
Gerald
by any means.
Seinfeld.
Full names only.
Okay, gotcha. Did you ride in his car with him?
Yeah, I was in the passenger seat. We recorded a podcast.
Great.
That's good.
You should
What
get that
kind
for
of
the
was
scope.
it? An old car? Did you guys get coffee?
Was
Only-
it a jalopy?
Only old cars.
Yeah.
That's all he runs these days. It's a Gremlin. I don't know if you've ever heard of that. He's
Yeah, sure. You
souped it
don't
up.
want to feed it after midnight.
It's actually a Dodge Colt driving around. So it's pretty
The
fun.
time when we went with Adam and he took us in his car and
I know he was all
Hey,
handsy.
it's my time. It's my time. After that episode, that's all me 2 weeks ago. This
Adam's always talking about how he's so earth friendly, but he took us out in his car
I know.
and it was an SUV.
It's really strange. I mean, that thing gets terrible gas
It's like
mileage.
4 miles to the gallon. And
Yeah.
Alan is like, my name's Adam Shane, is what he said. And then he took us for a drive. And it was like, we went on a drive.
And he was just dumping oil out the back. It was so weird.
But he's a great guy. Adam.
Nah, he's a great guy. Great guy. Couldn't salt of the earth.
Oh, I get it.
Baba
Hey,
Booey.
you guys know. You guys didn't know. I can actually hear you.
2610
when you're
is when
doing
you could start
that
listening
bit.
audience.
Yeah.
Go ahead.
Exactly. Adam, so you've gone to a Wits. Do they have that across the country, by the way? Do have
They
Wits?
broadcast it now through
Is
lots
it
of different markets.
Is it only done here, though?
It's only done.
They have another show that they just started recently that does tour around, right?
I don't know.
I think what it's. I can't remember what it's called, but I know.
Wits on Ice. Yes.
yeah,
so-
okay.
so
Sorry,
explain
the
to
touring
people-
company. Wits
Chris
on Ice.
Cluey
I like
just
it.
goes around, punts footballs, and
No, there was it was a show. Jonathan Colton was in town a couple weeks back for it, but they've also done a show in New York, and I don't know what it's called. Whatever. I'll
It's
look it up.
called
You
the
tell your story.
commodification of geeks, is what it's called,
that
and
is-
hipsters.
That is probably what's American Public Media's version of it. The Chicago National Public Radio station.
The jerks.
Where
Okay.
Ira Glass
So,
and stuff.
so Wits is
Ask me another. That's what it is.
Wits is what for
Wits
people that don't know.
is a
Apparently, it's just in Brooklyn now.
show that they put on in St. Paul,
Mm-hmm.
Minnesota, in the Fitzgerald Theater, and it's this guy John Moe, who used to be a technology newspaper writer. He hosts a comedian and a musician,
Okay.
and it's like a talk show kind of,
Sure.
but they do skits and stuff like that. Yeah, the interview and game showy type deal. It's about 2 hours.
How often do they do this a year?
They have been changing it up every season so far. So, for instance, this is the second episode of the fall season or fall winter season. I think there's 12 episodes,
Okay.
so almost weekly.
Wow.
This time around. And
This last one was on a Thursday, though, wasn't it?
there was Thursday night and Friday. So Paul F. Tompkins was there on Thursday with Yolo Tango,
Yeah.
and then he was there last night, Friday. Well, weeks ago, I guess, depending on when we're listening to this.
Long time ago.
And Rhett Miller from the Old 97s. He's the lead singer of the Old 97s.
We're buddies.
Was
I
there.
know him.
Okay.
Yeah, Jared's familiar.
Rhett Miller, by the way, probably the best. He's been on twice. He's the best musical guest that's ever been on that show. He's very affable.
Because he talks a lot.
Yep, he likes doing the game show thing. The worst one was probably AC Newman from the New Pornographers.
Really?
Just really uptight about it. They do this game show where the host asks them to the comedian to come up with the plot of a movie based on a stupid title. So, werewolves in New London, Minnesota, or something dumb like that.
Sure.
And the comedian has to come up with a 30-second summary, and the singer has to come up with a dumb theme song for it.
Okay.
And AC Newman just froze and got uncomfortable, and it's just a stupid song. You could just strum your guitar and fart a bunch.
Sure, sure.
Think of anything.
The old fart strum song.
Yeah,
Do
everyone
you think
knows.
that was an issue of him being uptight, or just being in a situation where he's freaking out because he really didn't?
I don't.
He didn't understand the situation he was in.
Maybe
Because you could freeze up on stuff.
Yeah,
like that.
but it's like, hey, artist, you're going to be on the show.
And this is what you're expected to
Here's
do.
that is
Maybe watch or listen to one of the previous shows to know what you're getting into.
That is it is the Wits game show, and they always do that bit, and it kind of gets old. But people can, when people are funny about it, it's makes it fun. And they introduced a thing this season where the comedian or the musician can reverse roles. So the musician can say, "No, you have to sing a song, and I'll do a funny summary of it or whatever." So
It's a twist.
yeah.
What a twist.
So yeah, it's I like it. It's
How often do you go?
only when there's either comedian or musician that I really like. Like last season, I think we went to 4 or 5.
Wow.
Like Metric was there, one of the shows. Patton Oswalt was there. Michael Ian Black. So a lot of people I liked. This season we're only going to 2. Paul F. Tompkins was there previously, so we just
With his beautiful teeth.
yes, we actually ran into him at dinner. Also.
I was gonna ask you about this comment. You made a comment about it. You were just
Yes.
just hanging out.
We went to Hot Dish in downtown Minneapolis.
Yeah.
It's a fancy comfort food place.
Super fancy.
For Restaurant Week,
Yeah.
which was this past week. And, we're halfway through dinner, and in strolls John Moe, who's the host of Wits, and his wife, maybe, and Paul F. Tompkins and his wife. And they sat 30 feet from us.
Did everyone recognize them? Or
I don't know. We all did.
Yeah, 'cause you're
and I kind of looked around,
groupies.
and no one else was like, pointing and leering
Freaking out.
like we were. So I tweeted them and Mayor R.T. Ryback also. He wasn't there, but I thought, why not? And told them, he
likes to be involved.
We're going to the next bar next door if you guys want to come by. They didn't. I don't know why. I extended an invite, and they just ignored me. It's kind of dick move.
Wow. Maybe
that's
should
funny.
have walked by and showed him your dick.
What chance
did
did
do
you
that.
actually
Oh, okay.
think they would do that when
Zero.
you sent that?
Well, zero.
Yeah, it wasn't a secret party. They're like, this could be it. This could be
It's one of
mine.
those things where you just throw it out there and you're like, there's no way this will happen. But if it did,
Yeah.
Pretty funny,
yeah, it'd be great.
right?
You'd
Be
be talking
awesome.
about that. That would definitely be a Facebook
Yeah,
status.
that's the kind of stuff we want on this show.
Yeah.
We
Well,
don't
I
want to talk
tried.
about talking about it. We want it to happen.
Okay. Next time I'll just go up and say, "Hi, celebrity. Excellent.
Come to a bar with me.
Shake hand.
Loved you
Yeah.
on Best Week Ever.
Please do your Cake Boss impression." All right. Now I'm gonna go. He does an excellent Cake Boss impression.
Right.
What's Cake Boss?
Cake Boss is a TV show on Food Network, maybe. It's
Okay.
a guy who's the boss of cakes.
Do you think that if you had an opportunity to have a conversation with Paul F. Tompkins, would you think you ever get past the talking about his career part of it and really talk about real stuff? Like, Rwanda,
Or what you do for a living, perhaps?
just general stuff. Maybe he's a sports guy. I don't know if he is, but
I feel like so you mean any celebrity, but in this case,
yeah,
he's a
sure.
celebrity.
I'm just saying, it's like, do you
It's a good
think
question.
you would be?
It's a really good
Do you think you would
question.
be present enough to go? You know what? He probably gets this all the time.
Yeah.
Going, oh, I love you in this. I think this is great. Blah blah blah. I'm going to talk about real stuff. I'm going to be a real person to him.
I feel like if
We're going to talk
I was,
current events.
Yeah.
We're going to talk about classic Rolling Stones.
Yeah.
know.
That's Jared's opening line for anyone.
Right.
Classic Rolling Stones.
I feel like if I were at a table, like already with a celebrity, then I could get the conversation to go into a thing like that.
Sure.
But if you just see someone on the street,
yeah, like how do you
How
do
would
it?
Oh, no,
you
but
transit-
right. It's got to be the right situation.
hip
but
check 'em, first
I'm just
of all.
thinking, do you think you're the kind of guy who's going to be engaging enough that you can get past that initial, hey, great, I like your stuff, awesome.
yeah.
no, I don't
No?
think
Like
I'm a
your
very
dog.
engaging person.
Okay.
I agree with that.
Finally, the truth is here.
I agree
Right.
with it.
I don't think I've ever said I'm an engaging person.
Yeah, you've implied it.
And 33 minutes and 7 seconds, folks. If you want to start listening from that point, we're going to start getting real with Adam.
Yeah,
all
we're
right.
going to really break it
This is
down.
an intervention. Where's the banner?
Going to drop it down.
Wow.
Adam, do you think that that people in that restaurant ignored Paul F. Tompkins because Minnesotans are known for ignoring celebrities?
No, I would imagine that Paul F. Tompkins is a
Where would he be?
level of.
A, B, C, D,
Well, I don't think that, like
a C level?
a C level implies like that you did something wrong, right? Like
yeah.
I mean, he's got his own podcast.
Yeah. Well, then we're with him.
Yeah.
He was in There Will Be Blood. He was in an Oscar-winning movie.
What was he in that movie?
He played the other guy with a mustache. I don't know.
I feel like if Adam actually did have a conversation with Paul F. Tompkins, later on, Paul F. Tompkins would be soft talking about Adam. So, I met this guy, Adam, and he's a really good guy. But, sometimes...
Like he was giving, and all he did was talk about himself.
I know, it's
like we
weird.
get it. You go out and you teach kids.
God, and you give money to the homeless all the time. Great, you're a wonderful person. Thanks for making us feel bad.
But then he didn't even tip. He
Can you believe that? Can you believe
I
that?
give all this money to kids, but then he gave like a 3% tip, and
Yeah.
it was so
I
embarrassing.
think about the servers. I mean, they've got kids too. Why don't you help them by tipping well? But I mean, he's a great guy. I mean, he just,
Oh, love him.
Oh, hey guys, I couldn't hear what you were saying, so I just was gonna.
I wonder how that bit's gonna go over, Jared. I don't know. I mean,
Hey, I know how it's gonna go.
Adam
over.
just sitting with his mouth open. I think I can hear crickets coming from it.
Yeah.
Oh, there they are. Wow. Well, this has been a good segment.
Yeah, great. One of our best shows ever.
All right.
One of our best shows.
I haven't met Paul F. Tompkins, for the record. If we're
Have
gonna
you
talk
ever met
about
a
me.
celebrity?
Not really.
Okay.
Closest I ever got, it was years ago when I was in Las Vegas, and Paul Rubens was ahead of us in line for the buffet.
Really?
Yeah,
Was he cleaning it up at that time? or
No,
was he-
I mean we were waiting in
Yeah.
the line to get into the restaurant, and he was just like at the front.
Did you say hello?
No, we didn't even bother him.
Did
Just
you
like-
ask him about his Mr. T
I was
cereal?
there. I was there with Earl, and
Oh,
we were
boy.
just looking like, oh hey, that's Paul Rubens.
Earl didn't
All right,
crap
cool.
his pants.
No.
I think I would have been excited.
Yeah.
Have you talked to a celebrity, Adam?
No. One time I said something to Dave Grohl at a shit. What's the
Nice fucking mustache, something like that.
no?
I love you in drag, stuff like that.
Not
No.
Why do you- more fat
Chi-Chi's.
suits?
Not Chi-Chi's. What's the other Mexican
Don
restaurant?
Pablo's?
Kind of like, was it Don Pablo's?
Chevy's
Whatever.
Mex?
Chevy's.
Really?
At,
That's-
at a Chevy's in Arlington,
At
Virginia.
Chevy's?
Oh, Virginia. I was going to say
Chevy's.
the one
Machete?
downtown Minneapolis is closed.
Yes, that one is closed now.
Yes.
What did you say to him?
I was like, "Hey, Dave Grohl." It was like across the,
Hey, Dave Grohl, that's you. You're Dave Grohl.
Yeah.
He's like, me? I am?
Whoa. Let me check.
Hey,
yeah.
hey-
Here's my name tag.
Hey, like hi.
Yeah. Did he acknowledge
I think
him?
he waved.
You didn't go up and give a high five or anything?
I mean, I've
Did he
talked
throw
to
a guitar pick at you?
like our Congress people, celebrities.
Kinda.
I mean, I've talked
I
to
guess.
multiple Congress people. One time when
Boehner?
I was renting a movie from Hollywood Video in the same shopping center as where that Chevy's is.
Mm-hmm.
I
That's a real focal point for your life.
I know. I ran into
It's like a fixed point in time.
my representative at the time, James Moran.
And what'd you say to James?
I said, "Hi, I'm one. I voted for you." It's like, "Oh, thank you very much.
Yeah.
Hope you vote for me again."
Did you guys talk policy or anything?
No.
No.
Did you shape policy in that state?
I may have. We're now taxed every time we say.
He got
hello
back to the office and he talks to his assistant. He's like, find out who that guy is and what he stands for,
Yeah.
because that's the way I'm voting from now
Exactly.
on.
Jared, I'm surprised you didn't see more celebrities like I did working at Toys R Us, because there were celebrities that would come in. I mean, I actually
Really?
I missed a lot of them. I would hear the stories after the fact.
I spent time helping Kirby Puckett buy Power Wheels for his kid.
Seriously, that's cool. Mandy
Janet
told
Jackson
me,
came in there when she was doing recording with Jimmy Jam.
What's his face? Mandy met who's the idiot that Newt Gingrich and his wife.
Which one?
Did he try to eat
The
her?
the
Callista,
current wife,
got
yeah.
it. Wife
When
3.
they came into the Macy's that she used to work at,
Yeah.
and she needed help finding sheets or something.
Yeah.
Who doesn't go to Macy's?
And
for
like
sheets?
People
and-
need sheets.
And Mandy, I guess she met like a bunch of wives of Vikings and stuff. While,
Yeah, it happens
while
a
being
lot.
there.
Sure.
Yeah, we used to get, I mean, that Toys R Us where Jared and I worked, we were sort of on the main highway strip that sort of circumvents, doesn't mean anything for people who don't live here, but sort of goes around the Twin Cities area. So we were very, very close proximity to where a lot of the Vikings lived, a lot of Twins players, and then you get a celebrity from time again.
How'd you do?
I
Did you
great.
hold your shit together?
Yeah.
Good
I
for
mean,
you.
this in the Kirby Puckett, this was
You were talking about the puck pack?
probably did. I think we probably joked about the Puck Pack, which was a special McDonald's meal that they would have for Kirby Puckett. It was like it was like a long hoagie bun.
What?
And then you would
Like
have
the McRib came on?
yeah, something like that. But then
Yeah.
they'd have two patties next to each other, hamburger
Right.
patties. So they wouldn't be stacked; they would be next to each other.
So this is a local only sandwich?
Oh, yeah.
Yep.
This wasn't like
Puck Pack.
when Kirby
Like
Puckett
and it
goes
came
to
with like a
McDonald's.
giant chocolate shake.
This was
and-
probably, I would imagine this configuration was probably used in other areas of the country,
It's
but it
called
would be
something
named
else.
something
Yeah.
different.
See, I thought you were saying
like the Gingrich gut or something like that.
When Kirby
Like,
went to
If you're a Red Sox
McDonald's.
fan, you probably got the big Pappy Pack.
Right. It comes in a Happy Meal box, though, so it's kind of weird, even though it's for adults.
Yeah. So yeah, I held it together. I mean, really, seriously,
Power Ranger, is that what you said? That's what he was there for?
No,
Oh,
Power
Power
Wheels.
Wheels.
Power
One of
Wheels.
the one of those giant cars
Yeah.
that kids would, they're really expensive.
Yeah,
And,
fucking rich people.
yeah. It really that was a total rich person.
Better get that
type
extra
thing.
battery, otherwise
Yep.
your kid's going to cry after
have
5
to sell them
minutes.
the battery. And then at Toys R Us, you were always scared that even though you had something on the floor, if they wanted it, that we didn't have it in the back. So it was always like, oh, I want to get this $400 toy. Then you have to go, if you go in the back and then it's not there, then you have to come back with your tail between your legs. And you're like, I know you just wanted to spend $600.
You keep
but-"
an extra pallet of expensive stuff just for Kirby Puckett.
All
I
the
assume.
time, yep.
Yeah, always on reserve.
But-
he calls ahead, lets you know on a week in advance what he's going to might buy. You
So-
just got to set it aside.
I mean, I don't know.
He doesn't do that anymore because he's dead.
He's dead.
But anyway,
Yeah. At the
Kirby
time,
Puckett died?
he was very much
yeah,
alive.
years ago.
Oh, I didn't even-
He
We
died.
don't expect you to be up on local sports celebrities. Adam.
So it was his ghost that raped that lady in the bathroom?
Oh, my God.
And we got to go to break.
That Adam. I'm not even going to soft talk him there. I'm just going to tell how much of a jerk he
Finally,
is.
good.
All right. So, yeah, I think we should take a cue from Jared. Let's
Probably wrap it up.
we should probably wrap this up. We've got
You're welcome, everyone.
a little bit more scope coming up, coming soon, and your comments right after this.
You're listening to The Scope.
Under the scope.
If you're at all curious why my audio cues are a little less tight than usual, it's because I leave myself a little editing space now. Now with the video, I need to have a little transition room. So
The vidjas.
yeah, I can't jump on those audio cues right away.
That's okay.
Can't strike like lightning. I gotta give it a little half a second so I can have a little room to, do stuff.
That was a Thor reference right there
Yeah.
from our own King of Thunder.
Oh, that's a really good sound effect,
Jared.
Well, let's.
Is that your board doing that? Oh my gosh.
It sounds like if my cat were making like.
Whoa. I don't know the difference. They all sound the same.
Okay,
It's like perfect, isn't it?
close your eyes, Adam, and then let's see which Jared pick a sound effect or your voice.
This is your game that you invented.
Here we go.
Okay, I'm leaning towards Jared. so
Me
far.
too.
No, that was the board, guys.
Whoa.
That was the board.
Adam, what do we got coming soon?
All right. We've got some music coming out. November 12th. This is
Did I even do the music? Here we go.
Oh, yeah. This is the music.
That's a really loose editing spot right there.
I don't know why I'm doing that.
Okay, we've got Erasure. They have an album coming out. Lady Gaga has an album coming out. And Katie Segal covered.
Yeah.
Oh, Katie
does
Segal.
music.
Katie
Yeah,
Segal,
yeah.
she's a singer. She used to do backup singing for like.
As Peg Bundy, she looks like she would be like a
Yeah.
doo-wop
She was
backup singer.
that's where she started. She started as a singer.
Yeah, she's actually a very trained musician.
I think she backed up like Tina Turner or something for a while. Yeah, she's very. I mean, I would never listen to her music, but
What kind of music does she sing?
rock and roll. She was hit. She was talking about how she was a backup singer for Bob Dylan for one day.
Really?
Like he fired her. I don't know what it was, but she told that story on Stern, I think. So
And Less Than Jake. They have an album coming out too.
I'm less
Ska's back.
than interested,
Less than
Jared.
interested. Oh.
when are we gonna get more
Burn.
than Jake? Honestly,
Yeah.
if Jake is
A little more than Jake.
if Jake is the median line that we're measuring against, I want to be above it. I wanna be
That
more
was
Jake.
actually Jake and the Fat Man. That already existed.
Okay.
Movies, we've got The Best Man Holiday. You guys know what that is?
I think it's a sequel to The Best Man.
What was The Best Man?
It was like a Tyler Perry type of film, I think.
Oh, so this is Tyler Perry's The Best
I don't
Man
know if it's
Holiday.
Tyler Perry. And I say a Tyler Perry type film, I just mean a film that stars a lot of black people. That's what I was saying.
There are a lot of black guys in that.
Stepped on that one.
I think it might be a Tyler Perry film. I'm not sure. But
and
Nice save.
The Book Thief. Do you know what that is? Never heard of that.
No.
Isn't it like
Yeah.
it's right before Thanksgiving? Aren't there supposed to be movies coming out? What's happening?
There's supposed to be a Vince Vaughn one coming in a couple weeks.
is that
Delivery Man?
Delivery Man.
Is that on there too?
That doesn't come out till the 22nd.
Okay,
though,
so we're not there.
We're ahead of that.
Is that the Wednesday before Thanksgiving? Big movies come out that day.
It's actually the week before.
Weird.
Thanksgiving's really late this
Yeah,
year.
Thanksgiving.
It's like the
Because of
29th.
Hanukkah.
It's the last week. Is Hanukkah screwing things up?
Yeah,
again?
Hanukkah's messing everything up. Sorry, guys. DVD and
Does that
Blu-ray.
mean a short sale season between?
Yes, it's a
Thanksgiving?
1 week less. So they're
Wow.
already factoring
That's why
that
they're
in.
well. That's why everything. That's why you can buy twinkling lights already.
Yep.
We've got DVD and Blu-ray. We've got Blackfish.
That just played in CNN a few weeks ago.
Yeah.
It's the documentary of SeaWorld.
Oh yeah.
And it's supposed to be devastating and repulsive.
Oh,
Yes.
I thought it was a side story to Game of Thrones about Sir Brendan the Blackfish. He's a Tully, you know.
Yes. And Man of Steel comes out. That is a long time between theatrical and DVD.
Yeah, it
for
kinda
that
is.
one.
Jared, would you buy Man of Steel?
No. Oh,
Back in your DVD super buying days, would you buy Man of Steel?
yes, I probably would have.
Yeah,
I pretty much bought all the superhero stuff that came out. But
Me too, probably.
And video games, you said you have nothing of note here, and I didn't look too.
I was
to
disgusted. Yeah,
contrast
there's
that.
this is the big time of the year.
Well, it
nothing
is-
big coming up.
It is 1 week before the
PS4, right?
PS4 and 1.5 weeks, 10 days before the Xbox.
The one I'm getting.
So we'll have to see. And I think we do have one more thing to talk about.
I think we
Shane?
do. It's hit it or miss it, guys.
hit it or miss it.
This is the moment of the show where one of us picks something to check out or absolutely avoid. It's my turn, and I was complaining to these guys off air that this is a terrible week for media.
Terrible week and
pop
terrible
culture
talent,
stuff.
terrible team, and terrible people.
So there really was nothing that I was excited about, but the one thing I can promise you I'm going to avoid is the new album by American Idol 6th place contestant Kelly Pickler, who actually is...
It amazes me that she's still putting out music at 6th place.
You know what? She did very, very well in Dancing with the Stars, so this is capitalizing on that. And
she's done better than American Idol winners have done.
Yes. And Kelly Pickler,
Ruben Studdard,
a fun side note, is married to somebody I went to high school with.
Really?
They graduated same year as I did from my high school. I don't know the guy. But,
okay, I was going to say,
but
because if you knew the guy, you'd say, go get her album. He needs the help. They're not doing well.
He moved to like Nashville and was a big-time songwriter and was writing songs for her, and they met and fell in love, so good for them.
Oh.
But,
Good job.
Is she a
but don't
pretty
buy her
lady?
album.
I don't even know what she looks like. Is she a pretty lady?
She's pretty. Yeah, she's
good
pretty
for him.
girl. Yeah, so miss it. Sorry, Kelly. Miss it.
All right.
So there we go. Let's wrap this up.
Her boobs anywhere?
I'm sure she has
I'm sure
boobs.
she has boobs. She's a lady.
They're known to have boobs.
Jared, are we
Yes.
known to have comments?
I don't know about that.
Well, why don't you look into
These, this would have been the spot where we'd read comments from episode 154, but I could not find any comments on episode 154.
People hated this episode.
This makes me very sad because this was the episode where we did the Scope Grows Up segment where we talked about things that we didn't like in our youth that we've come to appreciate. And it was a segment idea that I came up with, and I feel like we got zero response on it, which means that I'm not being validated. I'm very sad about that.
I'm going to tell you something, Jared. It is a good topic.
Okay.
It fits right into our wheelhouse for things that we've done.
Okay.
I think it was good, and I think the only reason why we didn't get any comments is because Adam screwed it up.
Mashed potatoes? Is that what you're going to blame?
Mashed potatoes and girls.
I'm not going to say mashed potatoes.
Yeah.
You did put a lot of thought into it. Jared was like, I've got a really good idea. And then Adam comes in, and he's talking about mashed potatoes.
I didn't mean to shit all over your idea. I've tried really hard, Jared, and I thought that's what you guys were talking about.
You did all right. But now you know if we do it again sometime 6 years from now, because that's about how long we need to put this thing on the shelf.
Yeah, I'm going to do lima beans this time.
Yeah, lima beans. Are you still, maybe by then you'll have an appreciation for the bean of lima.
What are you going to...
Shouldn't it be Lima beans?
It should be
right?
lima beans.
I'm just saying.
This
Are
is-
they from Peru?
This is American
Let's look this up.
mispronunciation.
Adam, did you on your new love of mashed potatoes, did you talk about like the mashed potato bars that you can get now?
Oh, now we want to talk about how it's interesting that I like mashed potatoes. Fuck you, Shane. You know what? I have gone to those and I like
I've
them.
never had those before.
They're pretty
like,
good.
What do you have, butter? Like, a lot of butters? A lot of cheese?
I mean, I guess, but they have chives.
Oh,
they
chives.
have
Bacon
bits. Yeah.
Okay, so the lima bean, which should be pronounced Lima in my opinion, actually was cultivated around in the Andes around 2000. It's also known as the butter bean.
That's true.
Butter bean.
That's
Interesting.
That was a
I
marketing
think, you know what?
decision.
If they called them butter beans more often, people would probably like them better.
They changed it to get them marketed and people liking them. Oh,
that
I
the
mean,
same-
basically eating butter.
Is
Excellent.
it,
it's like butter beans.
it's a sort of a chickpeas...
Butter with beans.
Chickpeas garbanzo bean situation?
I think the difference there is that those were like two regional names for the same thing.
Okay,
I
but
think this is all
So
marketing.
that's more of a cilantro coriander situation.
Yes, I think this is a more you have
Is
to
it
put
coriander dried cilantro?
I think it's all the same.
I think it's
dried
I thought-
cilantro is
I
still
thought
dried
that's what-
cilantro though.
Look it up.
I'm just gonna say this.
It's not
guys.
important. We're not talking about food anymore.
I'm not a big fan of putting too big of beans in my mouth. I like smaller beans in my mouth.
That's fair.
Too big of a bean, I'm not gonna
What's
eat
too
it.
big?
You like baby
Lima?
beans.
Lima bean's too big.
What about a kidney bean?
Kidney bean is doable.
That's like
Well,
that. That's
kidney
the
bean
right
is
size.
generally larger than a lima
kidney,
bean.
no, lima beans are big and
What
flat.
about a butter bean? Butter bean. You
I don't
could.
know.
you
That
could-
sounds delicious.
I think you could see yourself with a
That
butter bean.
sounds I would
Wasn't-
eat those all day
Wasn't
long.
that the name of that fighter?
Yeah, that big
UFC
fat
guy?
that big fat
Was
guy.
his
that
name
beat the-
Butterbean?
he
Yeah,
beat-
I think so.
He
That's
beat the
weird.
crap out of Johnny Knoxville in a Jackass movie.
Yeah.
Remember, they just walk into a like a store and then they just set up a boxing match.
It's
And they
pow-
beat the crap out of
Here's
each other.
something
right?
I
It's the power of
overheard.
names, because if he called himself lima bean,
Yeah.
no one's taking
Who
him serious.
cares?
Butterbean.
This is something I
That's a name.
overheard
He
at,
wore red, white, and blue trunks.
at the bar a few weeks ago. Hey, do you
Paula
think
Tompkins?
that yeah?
Mayor
He
Ryback.
did not say this. Someone asked out loud.
Yes.
Hey, do you think some of those bad grandpa things are setups?
Do you think?
What? So anyway,
For the record, Ruben, our free movie pass guru,
Ruben stuttered. Yeah.
said that Bad Grandpa was one of his favorite movies he's seen.
I like all those. I don't know why, but
I think I would enjoy that quite a bit.
I saw Jackass 3D in the theater almost by myself,
And
and
you laughed your ass
I
off.
almost peed my pants.
There we go.
It's just because it's stupid.
It's stupid, Jared. Jared shrugging his shoulders. Now, if we were just
I haven't
doing
seen any of the Jackass TV show or movies. Sorry.
You didn't see Jackass?
Nope.
I thought we went and saw it.
Nope.
No, it was hilarious.
Never saw it.
God, it was funny.
Don't want to. I'm more of a PBS guy.
Yeah, right.
Downtown Abbey.
You're more of a Lima.
I'm
guy.
excited for
Jared's a
January
Lima
in
bean.
America, where it is back-to-back Sunday evenings, Downton Abbey and Sherlock.
Downtown Abbey.
Downtown
It's
Abbey.
going to be awesome.
That's what I
I'm
call
going to
it.
wear my Cumberbitch shirt while I watch it.
Cumberbitches couldn't get the Fifth Estate to actually make any money.
Yeah.
Ratings or the reviews, it's down in like the mid-30s now on Rotten Tomatoes.
Not good. Well, Jared, tell people how they can contact us.
You know what? They can contact us at email. If you got email, you still got email? We're still doing email, right? Yeah. Comments at thescopeshow.com. Call our voicemail line if you still have a telephone and you know your mobile phone, it can call. It's not just for texting and twittering. You can call a phone number too.
Yes, you can.
612-21-SCOPE, 612-217-2673. Put that in your phone, store it under Awesome Dudes. So anytime you're looking to call Awesome Dudes,
We should
you
be at
call
the
us.
top, too, of your contact
Yeah.
list.
Space.
Put a space before it.
Awesome
Space
Dudes.
Awesome Dudes, so we're always at the top. 612-217-2673.
I'm going to write that down to put that in my phone.
Do it. We're also on Facebook, Twitter, Tumblr, and on YouTube. You might even be watching us here on YouTube. All those links are at thescopeshow.com right there in the left sidebar.
Use them. Utilize
Use them. Join us. Find us on your social network. You know, we're on Google Plus too, but nobody's on Google.
Nobody's on Google Plus.
Google Plus. I think we got 2 people circled us on there. I hope you enjoy those. Nothing that I post there.
Hey, it's just there.
Sorry, Google Plus. We're forced to have it because YouTube forces you to have it now, but that's really about it.
That's it. Well, guys, it has been one hell of a show.
Yep. Killing it.
Knocked it out of the park. So for Jared, Adam, and myself, thanks for listening. We'll be back in a couple weeks with more Scope for you. Thanks for listening. Bye, guys.
Ladies and gentlemen, we find ourselves once again at the end. I hope you've enjoyed our time together. I know I have. Fear not, Scope faithful. Days shall pass as if they were but a moment, and Jared, Adam, and Shane will return with another thrilling episode. Until then, send your comments to comments@thescopeshow.com or leave a voicemail message by dialing
612-21-SCOPE. That's 612-217-2673.
Thanks for listening, faithful fans. This is Tony Partington saying Belle Nuit. Tune in next time to another terrific edition of The Scope.